Okay, now we're learning a Maamar about what the Jewish identity is. What is a Jew? Do you have your Maamar? You have your... Very good. Now we said that in order for the Jewish people to express their true Jewish identity, they have to have Moses. And then we said, in order for the Jewish people to express their Jewish identity, they have to be under pressure. They have to be under the pressure of exile. Ask the Rebbe, which one is the thing that brings out the essence of the Jews? Moses, Moshe of every generation, or the exile, the pressures of exile, like in the time of Haman? How can it be? Moshe is the main ingredient, or the pressures of exile, or what do we call Masirut Nefesh, self-sacrifice, is the main ingredient. Now we're in Hay. Good? Hay. V'yesh l'ba'er, we can explain this. Al-pi, according to Hayadua, what is known. What is known said that this, She Yisrael, that the Jewish people, Ma'aminim, believe, Be'elokus, in Hashem, Be'emunah, pshuta, with simple faith, Ve'en tzorichim, and they do not need rayot, proofs, Alzeh, for this, that the Jewish people believe in God. And they don't need any proofs. Who is Mishtad Shtei Tamim? Because of two reasons. Every Jew believes in God. Even if the Jewish person denies God, even if a Jewish person is against God, the only people that don't believe in God are people that don't know at all anything. Like in communist Russia, where they didn't teach people, they taught people against God, so children grew up thinking just the word God and the name God is forbidden. It's stupid even to think about in this area. They don't approach the area. But as soon as a Jew approaches the area of God and he thinks maybe it's okay, as he believes in God. It could be that he doesn't know how to express his faith. It could be that he becomes some other religion. Maybe he'll become the Pope and there's a bishop. Maybe he'll go to the Far East and he'll become meditation. But a Jew, every Jew believes in God. He has something inside of him that he's certain that God exists. This is for two reasons. Because of two reasons. One reason is lefi, because shemazlehu chazi, because his mazel sees. Now, what does it mean? His mazel sees. Mazel is called if you want to call it the highest levels of the soul, the hidden level of the soul sees. It's called the mazel. What's mazel? The word mazel means to drip. This is the source of the soul where all consciousness drips into your soul. That's called the mazal of the soul. Where does it come from? It comes from, there's a Gemara in the Gemara Megillah, and it tells a story that there was Daniel, the prophet Daniel, was walking on the river with his three Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his three assistants or his pupils, and that suddenly a tremendous fear fell on them, and they fell to the ground. And it says that Daniel saw the revelation of God, and they didn't see it. So the Gemara says, once again, if they didn't see it, then why did they fall down? He said, it's true, they didn't see it, but their mazel saw it. In other words, they felt something was going on. They felt something awesome was happening, a revelation of God, but their personalities couldn't accept it. But their mazel did. In other words, they were conscious at the highest levels of their consciousness that this was what was happening. That's what's called mazleo chazi. So every Jew, his mazal, namely the hidden level of his soul, the source of consciousness, is aware of God. Sha'anashama lamayla, that the soul above, ro'eh, sees Elokus, God. Ria, seeing, Shalamayla Misecha, which is above any understanding. V'zeh, and this, and the fact that the essence of his consciousness is aware that Hashem exists, that there's a creator, and that the creator cares, and that the creator gave us the Torah. Zeh poel, this causes, be'aneshama, in the soul, shabaguf, of the body, he'emunah, faith, be'elokus, in God. In other words, there's part of the soul which is totally above the body, in other words, above our personality, totally above. We don't even relate to it. It's something totally outside of us. Totally outside of us. But on the other hand, it's connected to us. It's our soul. It's the source of our soul and not the source of your soul or your soul. My mazel is different from your mazel. So everybody feels this awareness of God. Why do they feel awareness of God? Why don't they feel awareness of mathematics or something like that? Because God is truth. God is really true. God really exists. God is the source of all mathematics, and He's the source of all the philosophies, and He's the source of all the religions. And they feel this. They feel He's the source of all music, all harmony, or beauty. So maybe a person can't grasp these ideas, just like some people can't grasp mathematics. They can't grasp music, but they still know it's there. They still have a feeling that something is going on. When they hear music, they see everybody else is swooning and this. They have a feeling that person is tone deaf. But he doesn't understand that something's going on here. The same thing that every Jew has a feeling that God exists. This comes from his mazel. That's one reason. The obir, and then there's another explanation. The shoresh ha'emunah, that the source of the faith that every Jew has, who is be'etzem neshama. It's from the essence of the soul. Shalamayla, which is above, mimazleu chazi. It's above even this level, which is the source of consciousness. Ode and another bior explanation is that the source of faith in the Jews, that faith the Jews believe in God, whom etzem neshama is from the essence of the soul. It's like the joke about the lady. Actually, I heard a story about this. One of the past pupils here told me that he heard his mother talking on the phone. His mother's not religious at all. She was speaking to a friend, and she said, "Oi, my son Joel, he's so crazy. He doesn't drive with us on the Sabbath, and he doesn't eat what we eat, and he puts on these boxes all the time. He's so religious, and he doesn't want to go out with girls anymore. And he says he wants to go on a shidduch to get married. He says, oh, that's crazy. This religion thing is awful." She says, "Oh, my son Brian." I said, "Thank God he's not religious at all. Thank God." Right? It's not, what do you mean, thank God? I thought you didn't believe in God. Right? What's he thanking God for? He says that every Jew believes in God. Right? Somewhere up there really deep. Even in Israel, you speak to the people, the most non-religious people, they say, what do you think? You say, Mashiach has to come. Everybody will say, for sure he has to come. The question is when he's going to come. Right? Even the most non-religious people will say, of course Mashiach has to come, but when is he going to come? It's like, you guys believe in Mashiach, he's never going to come. But if he would come, it wouldn't be so bad. Right? Shalamayla, this is above. This level is the essence of the soul. This is the source of consciousness. That is the etzem neshama, that the essence of the Jewish soul, mekusher, is attached, be'elokus, to God. This is like what we say, that we are the sons of God. The Jews are the sons of God. He is hitkashut atzmit. This is an essential attachment. The attachment of an essence, like how your leg is attached to your body. That's how we're attached to it. It's just a part. She'eno talui, it does not depend b'siba. It doesn't depend on a reason. This that Daniel and his pupils, that they saw, or his compatriots, whatever, that they saw, God, it was because there was a certain revelation. That's mazleo chazi. But this level, the essence of the soul, it's always there. It's always plugged into God. But it's very, very deep. It's even deeper than the source of awareness. Kam also lo be'inyan ariya. This is even higher than the level of seeing, shalamayla misecha, which is above understanding. The first level, which we said is called mazal, it says the mazal sees. This is like seeing something. Seeing is believing. The essence of the Jewish soul is even higher than seeing. It's certainty. Something like how a person knows that he exists. How do you know you exist? How do you know? Because you see, you look in the mirror, you see, A person that's, God forbid, blind, he knows he exists. A person that's blind and deaf, he also knows that he exists. How do you know you exist? You feel it. You're aware. It says that the essence of the Jewish soul feels and is aware that God exists even above seeing. It's the essence. The problem is it doesn't affect our personality. That's the job of Chassidut, is to make it affect our personality, to come down and affect our day-to-day life. So we don't get angry and we don't get miserable and we don't get depressed and we don't have all sorts of desires and we don't get, uptight and we don't have, depressed and lazy. V'yesh lomar, we can say, Tamei hachilukim, from the differences. What's the differences? Shebein shnei biurim, between these two explanations. What do we, again, two explanations. Why Jews believe in God. One is because of their mazal, which is the source of consciousness, and the other one is because of, good morning, and the other one is because of the essence of the soul, who is the emunah, that the faith, sheben neshama, in the soul, hamalubeshes beguf, which is enclosed in the body, haba, which comes, miri'as haneshama, from the seeing of the soul, shalamayla, of above. He is that level of the soul, which is the mazal, which sees God. This is makif. This comes from a level of makif. What does it mean, makif? It surrounds. It affects you once in a while. Right? It affects you once in a while. Like last night, I'll tell you, last night I went to a bar mitzvah, that's why I wasn't here. The Sephardic Jews, what they do is they take the boy, before he goes to the bar mitzvah, they take the boy and they put a talit, they spread a talit over his head, 4 people, like in a wedding. They take a wedding, and then they play music, and everybody stands and they all clap, right? And it's very beautiful. I don't know how to say it. It's just very beautiful. And, everyone's around and they're all looking at him. And so I was like, tears were coming out of my eyes. I know the boy very vaguely. He's in my family, but it's my wife's family, but sort of far away. A beautiful young boy. And I've seen it before, and every time it's the same thing. And all the family is standing there. Some of them are like almost totally not related, nothing whatsoever. And everybody was like, tears coming out of their eyes. It was just it's such a beautiful thing. What's the big deal? They saw the boy the whole night. He was wandering around and he looked good the whole night. But the whole thing of, they're bringing him in to be a bar mitzvah and he's being attached to God. He's going to do the commandments, and it's the Jewish idea of God. It's not that he's becoming a monk or a nun or something like that. It's a happy thing. Oh, his life is going to become bigger now. It was a thing that you can't explain, but everybody was emotional. I looked around to see, if everybody felt the same way I did. I thought maybe it was just the music or something. Everybody was the same thing. All the people, everybody. It's a thing you can see. But what? After the music finishes, the men went and danced with the women. They couldn't care about Judaism. It doesn't affect their daily life. They didn't put on tefillin in the morning and they won't keep Shabbos. But it affects you. That's called makif. Makif, surrounding, means, this is it. I'm a Jew. I feel so good. It's wonderful. This is great. And afterwards, he eats whatever he wants to, does whatever he wants to. It doesn't affect his personality at all. It says that's from the level of the soul that sees God. The cave, and since Shanasham is the soul, Shalamayla, from above. He is Lamayla, above, Mihislabshus, because it is above being enclosed. 1 second, this could be this. Hello. Yes. Shalom. Od 10 dakot. Beseder, od 10 dakot. Od 10 Torah. And Ibn Sashir. Sorry, it wasn't. I thought it was about your thing. Lamaylam, Mislabshus. Above. It's above being enclosed. It's above being enclosed in your personality. Lochen. Therefore, are you on the right page, Avram? Yeah. Lochen. You sure? No, I don't think so. You're not on the right page. Reish Pei Hey. Reish Pei Aleph. Reish Pei Aleph, the other side. Yeah. Reish Pei Aleph, right? Last word on the line is Lachen. It's 6 lines from the top of the page. You got it? It's not the right Maamar even. Okay, lochen, therefore, here, I'll give you one, here, take this one, yeah. Lochen, therefore, here. What's going on over here? Here. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? No, I even lost the place. Okay, here we go. What happened here? Huh? What's going on here? Huh? Here. Here we go, here we go. Look in, here. Lochen, therefore, here we go. Lochen, therefore, pa'ulasa, because this is a level which is above, this is above being enclosed in the body, therefore, pa'ulasa, its effect. B'hanashama, in the soul, because this level of the soul, which is called mazal, is above your personality, therefore, its effect. B'hanashama, in the soul, amalubeshes beguf, your effect on your personality, he is bebechinat, in a way of makif, surrounding. It's surrounding. In other words, the thing you feel once in a while, it's a hit, it takes you over, but it doesn't really affect you personally. Ubechidei, in order. She'amunah, that the faith. Be'anashama, that's in the soul. Hamalubeshes beguf, in your personality. In other words, in your character. Tiyeh will be bepenimius, in order so that this faith will be in a personal way inside of your actual character, how you react to the world, how you act, what you want, what you think, who you are, who it is, al yedei, by means of giloi, revealed, hayit kashrut, the attachment, atzmit, the essential attachment, the etzem and neshama, of the essence of the soul. Ki, because etzem and neshama, the essence of the soul, he is, ha'etzem, is the essence, shel haneshama, of the soul, hamalubeshes beguf, which is in the body. In other words, this is your essence. This is your essence of your being, of your personality, of your character, or let's say it in a simple way, of your uniqueness. How are you unique? How are you different from anybody else? This also, rabbis, is the secret of love. When you get married, it's also very important. And even with friends, with everybody. Everyone is unique. That uniqueness is the essence of that person. And that's the essence of the soul. It's the thing which is above the person's personality. It's above the person's character. It's the essence of the soul. It's the source of his life. You don't see that in a person, but it exists in every person. And that's the uniqueness of every person. And believing that that exists means that you believe that this person has something that's unique, different from you, and that's something that is necessary for your completion. Your completion. So everybody has something unique, and the way that you bring it out is by love. And when you recognize it, there's even more love. But this love is not necessarily a sensual love, or a sexual love, or a personality love, or a thing that you talk about in the... This is a love which exists eternally. Even, God forbid, if the person is not even alive anymore, exists. The person loves his mother, he loves his father. It's an essential thing which is above personality. It's above how the person looks, even how the person acts. Fathers love their sons, their children, even if they're sitting in jail, the worst, but they love them. Right? Because there's something essential there that he recognizes, the uniqueness. This is the essence of the soul. This is the essence of the soul that's enclosed in the body. Lochen, therefore. Ha'emunah, the faith. Dehaneshama, of the soul. Hamalubeshes, which is enclosed, behaguf, in the body. This level of faith, which comes from the essence of the soul, in order for it to reach the soul how it is in the body, in other words, you. So let's do it again. Ha'emunah, the faith, dehaneshama, of the soul, hamalubeshet beguf, which is in the body, in other words, your character, your personality, to actually integrate the belief in Hashem in your day-to-day life. Shemitzad etzem and neshama, which comes from the essence of the soul, who is b'pinimiuta. It's in the inside. That's the level of faith which is going to save you from road rage. The most simple things in the world. Someone cuts you off on the street. Right? That's the essence of the soul. That'll protect you from that. That'll protect you from that. Happened to me yesterday in Kfar Chabad. Seriously, I'm glad nobody in the class saw me. I had to just think. listen 1 second. I said, listen, you're a rabbi, you're in the yeshiva. It didn't work, didn't help. I thought, Hashem, help me. Didn't work. I thought to myself, Hashem is everywhere. Hashem will take care of it. Hashem is the boss of everything. This is obviously for the good. He'll take care of it. I didn't open up the door. I didn't get out. I stopped honking my horn. All of a sudden, everything cut me off. Terrible. Anyway, I'll have to explain what it was, but it was the guy almost smashed me in the car. He was totally out of control. The guy was speeding down the street, and he was supposed to stop for a stoplight. He went right through into this, and I was just so almost smashed into it. Right? I had to think, no, listen, this is Hashem, did it all. And then I stopped myself. What can you do? Everybody has their problems. That's it. But the essence of my soul saved me. I said to myself, you're a Jew, Hashem is the boss, leave it alone. Right? That's what it. Let's just do one more paragraph, little paragraph. Al Pisa, according to this, Yesh Labair, we can explain Kesher and Yanim, the connection of the things, Maamar, and the Maamar of the previous Rebbe. Sha'inyan, the whole topic of Katit Lama'or, the whole topic of being crushed for the illuminator. That's what we said. Now, the Rebbe has taken the simple sentence and he's translated everything into our soul. The simple sentence is a sentence that has no relevance to now at all. What's the simple sentence? That Moses has to command the Jewish people to bring pure crushed olive oil to him, that this crushed olive oil is crushed for the illuminator, and that the light will go up always. What's this the simple meaning? This is a thing which is relevant 3,300 years ago, when the Jewish people were in the desert. Before they came, when Moses was still alive, and the Jewish people were wandering in the desert, so they had to bring this. It's a history story. Well, that's a history story. And what do we care? It's interesting, right? It's never going to happen again, right? The Jewish people are not going to bring this oil to Moses again. Moses is not alive anymore. Says the Rebbe, no, you're wrong. This is very relevant to us. The oil is talking about the faith of the Jewish soul. Moses, there's a Moses in every generation. Moses commands means he attaches the Jewish people to Hashem. The Jewish people then bring to him this level of oil, of faith. It even raises up Moses' faith. But where does this oil come from? It has to be crushed. Crushed means it's crushed from the exile. The Rebbe is going to explain it a little bit more, what it means, the exile.
What is Yesh Lavoer?
Yesh, there is Lavoer to explain. Kesher, the connection of the things we said before, the katit that crushed up, lim'or for the illuminator, ba comes behemshech, in a continuation, in the discourse of the previous Rebbe that he said in 1927. First of all, he explains that Moses is the shepherd of faith. Ba, it comes behemshech, after the explanation that Moses is the shepherd of faith. Then he explains that there's this thing of oil that comes from being crushed. Because Zeh this, Shem Moshe, that Moses, and the Moses of every generation, namely the Rebbe, Zan, feeds, or mafarnas, and provides for, et emunah, the faith of the Jews, shetihiyeh, that it should be, bipinimius, inside, who is, she'al yado, that by means of him, by means of Moses, who megaleh, he reveals, etzem and neshama, the essence of the Jewish soul. The level of the Jewish soul, Moshe, he is the one that reveals, that he activates this level of the essence of the soul. He informs Jews that there is such a thing inside of them, an essence of the soul, shalamayla, which is above, mimazle chazi, from this level of its mazel, seeing. Namely, he wakes up, Moses wakes up, me'or, the illuminator of the soul, the source of light, shalamayla, that is above, me, then, or than the light of the soul. The light of the soul is this level of the mazel. And the illuminator of the soul, this is the level of the essence of the soul. That, what it says, katit, that it has to be crushed up, that's what this level of faith that comes from the essence of the soul has to be crushed. Mavor explains, B'mamar, in the previous Rebbe's discourse, and the previous Rebbe's essay, Shebechadei, that in order, La'agia, to reach, Lima'or, to this source of light, the essence of the soul, who is al yadei, by means of Moses helps, but there has to be katit. There has to be crushed. There's something that you personally have to feel, the urgency of finding the essence of your soul. Shebizman galus, that in the time of exile. Who is ki ikar, the main giloi, revelation, the etzem and neshama of the essence of the soul. In other words, Moses can only do so much. He can only lead you to it. He can only hint that there is such a thing as the essence of the soul. He can move it, he can tickle it, he can make you aware of it. But in order for you actually to reveal it, you have to do it yourself. You have to have mesirut nefesh, self-sacrifice. She'ikrohu, that the main self-sacrifice is bizaman galos, at the time of the exile, like we're going to learn later. And I want to tell you, in the end of the Maamar, what the Rebbe is going to say is that the real exile is when you feel that something is missing. And when the Rebbe is going to say in the end, when you see that there's even one Jew that doesn't know about godliness, one Jew that isn't aware of Hashem, then you know that we're still in exile, that the Mashiach, the redemption is missing. They should crush you, but we'll talk about it, God willing, more tomorrow. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and have a good day. A Shabbos. So this Shabbos is out. Now I'll take you back to...
Rabbi, next Shabbos is
a big out Shabbos.